Morning. It is a little before 9 a.m. I feel like the holidays have officially ended. Well, hello. Hello. Are you sitting in front of the fire? Oh my gosh, that's so cute. That's so cute. You good girl. Yeah, the holidays feel over today because I opened up my inbox, my email, and just flooded with emails of people asking business questions. And I'm like, I feel like I guess like slightly resentful of just not having a break and the holidays are over, so I don't get any of that holiday break time that I wanted. No one to blame, including myself. I'm not going to blame myself over that. It's just some decisions I made. And I have a to-do list of about 35 things when I checked last night. And I wanted to start at 8:30, but I slept in a little later than that. So I'm trying to mentally figure out how to process these feelings. The good news is that since it's morning, I feel very like hopeful and I'm looking forward to the day. And there's almost like, I don't know, I almost don't really, what was I gonna say, phrase this? I lost what I was going to say. I guess like I'm just gonna have to chip away at it. And right now I feel energized, which is really good. Tomorrow I'm gonna be waking up at 5:15. So I decided, like originally my aim was to wake up at 5:15 every day, and I tried that and that was really, really challenging. I'm not gonna totally give up on that, but it just like felt like way too much of a struggle and not fully necessary. So I've been trying to wake up between 7:30 and 8:30 on non-yoga days, non-morning yoga days, I should say. And it doesn't seem to be like making it harder to wake up at 5:15. My goal was that if I woke up at 5:15 every day, then it would become easier over time. But I'm just not quite seeing the point. And it's really, really tough for me to get up at 5:15 when I don't have yoga. Like yoga just gives me this big reason to get up that early and push through the resistance. So I'm getting my coffee ready and just gonna go sit down and tackle that to-do list. I feel like I would feel very satisfied if I could check off everything today. I haven't accomplished that in a while, but I'm gonna aim for it again today because I felt like I structured my day pretty well. I guess the only thing is I usually struggle with building in time to spend with my boyfriend. I've been reserving that for the evenings, but sometimes we want to just like hang out and relax together during lunch, whenever that ends up being. So I'm gonna try to get as much done as possible before lunchtime, and that way maybe I'll be able to take a little break. I started watching this show called Don't F with Cats on Netflix, and it's really disturbing but also incredibly well done. So I just had him like mute the really disturbing parts towards the beginning First episode was most disturbing. Second episode was well, honestly, both of them were disturbing. I think there's only 3 episodes, so we have 1 more to watch, and I have a feeling he's gonna come back from working out and be like, do you wanna watch the rest of it? So, we'll see. I'm gonna try to speed things up today so I can spend some quality time with him relaxing and keep pretending that it's still the holidays. I had just finished editing yesterday's vlog, and I often feel so uncomfortable watching back the footage because in my head I just see so many flaws with myself or what I'm doing. You know, it's like yesterday morning there's makeup under my eyes and I'm like, somebody's gonna, this is why the comments are turned off, by the way, because I have all of these thoughts in my head, and if somebody else comments about them, it reinforces them. That's, I think, why the comments feel harmful to me and thumbs down feel harmful to me, because if somebody says something that I'm already thinking about myself, it feels like it's true. Or if somebody says something that I haven't already thought about myself, then I start to think it about myself. I haven't learned how not to do that. I would like to learn how not to feel that affected by people's opinions of me, but I haven't gotten there yet, and so that's why the comments are off, if you're wondering. It's not that I don't want to hear from you, it's that it's mentally I have not figured out how to take in other people's opinions of me, good or good. I mean, obviously, as I've said yesterday, the good comments are they feel good, right? But the bad comments feel really, really bad, and they get lodged in my head, and they contribute to me thinking poorly about myself. And I need to work on not feeling so poorly about myself. So yeah, it's like I was watching yesterday's video thinking like, how did I not notice that there was makeup underneath my eyes? This happens a lot of mornings. I think it's because the mascara I wear must, like, I wash it off. I feel like I get it all off, but then when my eyes are closed, it like sticks to the bottom of my eye. And then I don't even notice that it's there. In these videos, I have this tiny screen, and it's not like I go into the mirror first thing in the morning and examine my face. So, but in my head, I'm thinking like, oh, you know, people are just gonna be thinking that I have mascara under my face, and I'm, you know, and then here's what's helpful is I have to go through this pattern of like, why does it matter if somebody thinks that about me? You know, and the other thing is like, well, people are gonna think that I'm ugly. Like I've been feeling self-conscious when I turn my head to the side, and you can see like a double chin in certain angles. And then I feel self-conscious about my skin sometimes. I'm like, oh, my skin doesn't look great. Or I'll feel self-conscious about the way I wash my face at the end of the night. I'm like, oh, it looks like I'm being so rough on my face. But then I think, well, when I'm washing my face, it doesn't feel rough, but for some reason it looks rough on camera, right? And I'll just like, I'll pick apart all these little things that I'm doing and all these little things that how I look and all of that. And I just like start to think like, well, what if somebody thinks this about me? And what if someone thinks that? And then I find it really helpful if I step back and think, well, what does it mean if somebody thinks that about me, and why does it matter? And none of it matters. The only thing that matters is what I think about myself, because I can't control what other people think about me. You can't control what anybody thinks about you. And yet our society encourages us to be really concerned with what other people think about us. And I grew up with a mother who encouraged me to be very concerned. Speaking of which, on my new Instagram account, I've been posting selfies of myself without makeup and filters and all of that, and I cringe every time I post them. And then last night, I got in my head and I thought, oh my gosh, like, am I just doing this for vanity purposes? Am I just like looking for people's approval of myself? Like, I just like spiraled and like really wanted to take the photos down. I felt like all this shame come up for me about posting those images. And it was like a mixture of like embarrassment and shame because I don't like the way I look in those photos. And then I felt embarrassment and shame for posting and sharing my vulnerability and like wondering if I'm doing it for the right reasons. And like, I kept the photos up. I didn't feel compelled enough to take them down, but I just started to really like spiral about my motivation, and it's really, really tough. It makes me just not want to post it all on social media. I can't even open up Instagram because I just don't want to see people's comments. I don't want to see the positive things about me either. Like a couple people wrote on my new Instagram, like, oh, you're so beautiful, whatever. I'm like, I don't even want to read that stuff because then I'm afraid that I'm just looking for that validation. You know, I just don't want to see people's comments about me. And the good or the bad, none of it feels good to me, really. It feels like there's a bad perspective of it all. And I'm really concerned that, like, am I doing these videos and posting on social media for the right reasons? Even on the Main Eco Vegan Gal pages and stuff, it's honestly, I feel like I'm just trying to keep that brand alive and generate revenue. And I'm like, gosh, like, that's kind of messed up. Like, I'm just posting on here to get people to buy from me. Like, I mean, that's why a lot of people use social media, though. It's like, the reality is brands are posting to develop their brands so that you'll buy from them, and other people are posting to get validation. You know, I honestly, like, why else do people post on social media? There's also the element of wanting to help others. And I like to believe that that's a huge drive for me too. Like, that's, to me, like, the conscious reason that I'm posting on the Whitney Lauritsen channel. I mean, I would say on my Instagram, I would say it's two things. One is I'm using that as a practice for myself, just like this channel. A lot of this channel is me working through a lot of things, and I'm doing it publicly because I hope that it helps other people, because I feel a huge benefit when I see pictures of people without makeup and videos of people talking really honestly. If they're saying things that I can relate to, I don't feel alone and I feel inspired, and that feels good to me. It's like, okay, if I can make someone feel like there's somebody else can relate to them, and if I can say something that maybe inspires or motivates other people or interests them or something, great. But there's also this big fear of me, like, am I just posting to get validation? Am I posting for some ego reason like that? And it probably part of me, but isn't that the case with everybody that posts online? So it's a huge thing I'm trying to work through mentally, of the posting for the right reasons, if there really are any. But I guess, like, if everybody's doing it though, does that make it okay? No, generally. But it's kind of like socially acceptable, I suppose. So it's like I'm doing socially acceptable things, but feeling like I'm not socially acceptable because of the way that I look. And I'm afraid that people are going to not like me because I'm not socially acceptable in some ways. I think that's also just the big fear is just, yeah, there's like a big fear that people won't like me because I was raised culturally and by a mother that made social acceptance such a huge priority, you know? And in my head, I grew up just being obsessed with either shrinking myself down so people wouldn't notice me. You know, that feels comfortable. Like, okay, if nobody can see me, then I'm safe, and I can, like, I've always felt a little bit more comfortable being in the background or something. Maybe that's the introversion side, is if I can kind of hide myself away and just observe people, like still be involved but observe people. If I can keep myself neutral where people like me, as long as people don't like me, I'm safe. Like, I'm sorry, as long as people don't dislike me, I'm safe. And so then I wonder, like, well, why do I put myself out on social media and YouTube? Because there's plenty of people that dislike me, you know, that thumbs down. I don't know, I'm still trying to figure that out, to be honest. I guess like a bunch of the things I just said, it's just complicated. I've always liked being on camera. I suppose that's part of it, is I just like, this is such a long thing that I'm trying to unwind in my head. But yeah, it's really interesting because there's part of me cut off my recording abruptly earlier because my boyfriend had just gotten home, and he's so supportive and understanding, but I feel like he also doesn't really get the whole video stuff, and so I feel uncomfortable recording videos like that in front of him. Plus, since he doesn't really know that I do these vlogs, him walking in the background, I've just been trying to protect his privacy and not showing him his face on camera or his voice too much. It's funny, sometimes I'll hear the door unlocking and I'm like, oh, I better turn off the camera. Maybe one day I'll be more open with him about this. I feel really emotional right now, and I was just like having tears, so I feel like, I don't know if I'm gonna cry, but I am technically crying right now. I can feel it in my eyes, but I feel emotional because so this bundle sale that I'm doing, I've really tried to go into it without expectations of certain results, and to be fully transparent, it's definitely like a business choice for me as another opportunity to generate revenue. And there's a lot of like really big influencers that are part of this, and as I've expressed over the past few days, a lot of the challenges I've been facing has just been like trying not to compare myself to them. And just got this email from the people that run the bundle sale, and they were like listing out the top sellers of the bundle sale, and it's unbelievable how much some people are selling. Like, mind-blowing to me how much money some people are making from this. And I was trying not to like get too much in my head, and these are like where those feelings of failure come in for me, is just feeling like getting in that comparison trap when you see the reality of the success that some people have, and just comparing yourself to them and feeling like you're not good enough. And what I decided to do, instead of getting too wrapped up in those thoughts, was to go and just look at what they were doing and learn from them. Like, okay, like how are they posting on Instagram, and what are their newsletters saying, and what does their website look like, and what could I do to optimize my work? You know, what could I do to learn from them? And as I was doing it, I was just like looking at their numbers and thinking like, or just feeling so overwhelmed, because I feel like there's nothing that I can do right now to get those type of results. And I just feel so lost when it comes to Instagram, and I feel so vulnerable on YouTube. Not this channel, but my main YouTube channel where the bigger audience is, and I just feel uncomfortable. And I was looking at all the different things that people well, actually I just started with one person. I was looking at what she had been doing and just feeling like why bother type of thoughts, you know? And I know that's going to pass because I felt that so many times before, and then eventually I'll get over it and I'll do it anyways. So then I went over to my Instagram. I don't even know why, because I've been avoiding looking at Instagram. I just have been posting and like walking away and not wanting to see any of the results of it. And I went on, and as you just saw in the clip before, I just got a ton of followers relative to what I normally receive. And it's because some of the people that are in the bundle sale are mentioning Eco Vegan Gal. And I just felt so moved by that. And I know it's very superficial, but again, like I've been talking about, it was just like this temporary relief, this temporary feeling of at least something is coming out of all this work of me participating. You know, like followers just feel so superficial, but they do play a huge role in business success. And I'm just really grateful that people saw my username on somebody else's post and decided to follow me. You know, that meant that they had to click and look at my account and decide to follow me. And it just felt like people were interested in what I was doing and had to say and wanted to see what I was up to. And like, that just feels really good. You know, again, even though it's a superficial thing, it feels encouraging to me. It makes me want to keep going and keep trying. Like I was saying yesterday, just sometimes just knowing that somebody cares about you is one of the strongest things in terms of building our willpower. And I might not have the big numbers that some of these people have, but I know that I'm doing my best and I'm growing every day in some way or another. I mean, yesterday I didn't mention this because I felt like it was so superficial to bring up, but yesterday I felt sad because I saw like my Instagram numbers had gone down, you know? And that's the thing that I've been experiencing a lot over the years, is my numbers tend to go down, not up. Like I'll gain a few people on my channels and my newsletter and my social media every day, but for the most part the numbers go down. Like basically there's more people unfollowing me than following me, and it's small, but it's still noticeable to me. And it's so tough for me to not get caught up in that, you know, and not like judge myself when some of those people might just have left Instagram or closed their YouTube accounts. Like I have no idea why they're not following anymore. And it hits me on such a frustrating level because I've been doing my work and I've had these accounts, some of them for over 10 years. And so of course some people are going to leave those platforms, and of course some people are going to feel differently about me as time goes on, because I'm changing, my content's always changing. It's not always going to work for everybody. I've unfollowed people before simply for personal reasons. It wasn't necessarily to do with them, you know? And yet it's still hard not to take it personally, just like it's hard not to take the thumbs downs personally and just like think that I'm doing something bad and that I need to change. So I don't really know what else to say, but I just need to like take a moment away from the desk to process all this. And you know what? I think I'm going to use this as an opportunity to meditate. I promised myself I was going to start meditating every day, and I didn't do it this morning because I haven't created that habit yet, and I didn't even think about it until a little while ago. So I'm going to spend a few minutes meditating, closing my eyes, taking some deep breaths. And that way at least I can check that off my list today. not positive that this triggered it. I feel like I'm on the verge of a panic attack. I don't know what's going on with me. This is just so intense today. It feels like it keeps getting worse. And I feel like I need to take a break. And I'm going to have to. I know it probably sounds obvious to anybody observing me, but it's really tough to take a break for me. And I'm willing to bet some people watching can relate too, because especially if you work for yourself or you have a project that's really important to you. I don't think that this is like the cause or anything, but I think it just intensified everything. As I went on Instagram again to post something about the bundle sale, I finally like found a photo and wrote a caption that I felt good about, and I saw like a part of one comment of this one account kind of debating vegan keto with somebody on my underneath my photo, and I was like, this is exactly what I didn't want to see. And I think that just on top of so many different emotions, I just feel like I'm hitting a breaking point with social media, and it's really frustrating because I have to post on social media for my book. Like, I'm contractually obligated, and I'm part of the bundle sale. I don't have to do that, but it was wise for me to. And I have a sponsored post coming up that I have to post, and there's just way too much right now that I said yes to. Anyways, I'm going to take a mental break by driving to my P.O. box, going to my place to grab some stuff, and going to the grocery store. I finally did some meal planning today. So hopefully that break will make me feel better. I am back at my home, my official home. It's cold. So funny. Usually I can't stand the way this place smells when I haven't been in for a while. It gets like a really musty smell. Oh my gosh. But it actually has a kind of a nice smell. It's freezing in here. Turn on the heat. And Jason just dropped off all this stuff from our party. I usually stop by here anytime I'm in the neighborhood just to see anything I want to pick up. Ooh, I'm gonna use this. I can definitely use this today, ashwagandha. My friend who's a health coach told me that that's actually good for menstruation too. But I actually have a few things I could take. I'm gonna take some of this right now. This is called Calm ASAP, and it's from Gaia. It tends to work really well. So yeah, I come back here to pick up things, but I also want to come here one day and just organize and clean, get rid of things, just do like a big cleanse of my place. Do this with one hand, and it's proving to be very difficult. They got kind of weird and deformed. Hopefully they're still okay. Let's see, when did these expire? Oh no, I have a whole nother year. That's good to know. And I think I'm gonna have some Mad Tasty CBD sparkling water to wash it down. Thought Jason wanted these, but I don't think he cares that much. Grapefruit one. It's supposed to be Jason's stash. But... oh. I feel so emotionally fragile. I feel like I'm hanging on by a thread. And like I said yesterday, I really hope this is a temporary thing, because I just... I don't want to feel this way. And I hope that there's a purpose to feeling this way. Because I guess it's true that there's both never a purpose and always a purpose. It just depends on what you want to make of things. And I definitely want to make the most of it. And I also feel like I'm being forced into examining what's important and shedding things and taking a break. I just don't know how long of a break I need, and I wish that I could just stop everything and just take as long as needed. And you know what? Now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm recognizing I go through this almost every January. Ugh. I went through this last January, and I feel like the year before. January is really rough for me. Maybe it's rough for a lot of people. I feel like it's supposed to be this time where you feel empowered and you're changing for the, you know, and you're doing new things and on top of everything, but I just feel like I'm falling apart instead. That's typically what happens. So I'm glad I just had that realization, because maybe that'll make me feel like everything's gonna be okay. I know everything's gonna be okay. I'm not hopeless. I'm just really struggling in this moment. All right, I think it's gonna help me to just kind of tidy up. And I mean, my place is so discombobulated. Oh, my boyfriend's at lunch right now. If he wasn't with me, I probably would just spend the whole day here organizing, because that sounds really pleasant. I'll just do what I can. Wow. Looks pretty good. Aw. I'm reflecting on how today feels like there's so much goodness happening, and yet I just still don't feel good emotionally. And it's a gift in a way, because it gives me direct experience with this and reminds me that just because things are going well in people's lives doesn't mean that they're feeling good or happy. And just because you're grateful for things doesn't mean that you're happy. I've actually been reading a number of books about happiness, and it seems like one of the keys to happiness is to have a sense of purpose and meaning. And I think that's part of the reason that I'm just feeling so off, is I just I feel like a lot of my purpose and meaning is tied into helping other people, and right now I just haven't been feeling like people, as many people as I want, care. I know some people care, but I just have this feeling that it's not enough. And it might not make any logical sense, but it's still something that I'm feeling. It's really intense. I just still have that not good enough feeling that I've been carrying around for so long, and just trying to be really patient with it, because I think that I've been feeling not good enough for most of my life, and you can't just snap your fingers and make things go away. It's a process, it's a daily practice, it's an unraveling and just ongoing inner work. And I think sometimes you hit nerves within yourself when you're doing self-work. And it's really easy from the outside to give people lists of why they're enough, or you can tell people that you care, but it still doesn't always heal that, you know. And another thing I've been thinking about is how my friend Jason has gone through a lot of this and expressed a lot of the things that I'm feeling today. And feeling this gives me deeper compassion for him, because I feel frustrated with him sometimes, and I say, like, don't you know how good you have it? Don't you know how great you are and how many people love you? But I could say all of those things to him, and it doesn't necessarily make him feel better. Sometimes we're just feeling a lot of pain, and it can't be taken away very quickly. You know, I took supplements today and ate foods that made me happy and received so much today, some of which I'm gonna open up here. I got a check today earlier than I thought I was going to, and I got another product I'm not going to show right now because I just don't feel like it, but this thing that I've been wanting for a while, this brand sent me. I got my book, my first printed copy of my book. I mean, today has been a lot of great gifts, literally, and two more that I'm going to open up right now to experience some joy. So this I don't know if I can easily open because I didn't know there was another box within the box, but Derma E sent me some of their body care to try out. I've been getting a lot of skincare lately. It's really interesting. There just seems to be this like huge flux of natural skincare companies that want to work with me or send me things. Oh, the first thing I saw on the box is a little button that says, I'd rather go vegan. That's sweet. I'm not a big button person, so I'm gonna gift that to somebody. Wow, they sent me a ton of stuff. This is so funny. Skin De-Stress Calming CBD Cleanser. Funny, huh? But didn't focus properly. There we go. That looks interesting. I have this huge bottle of cleanser that I've been trying to work my way through for a while. That's what you see me use every night, and I just don't feel like it's ever gonna end. I hate opening up new things when I haven't finished them. Serum. I've been gifted a lot of serums recently, but I think I'm like almost out, but I have like multiple bottles open, so it's another thing that has to wait. Another serum. Yeah, serums are, there's just so many. Oh my gosh, this actually brings me joy. This is a product that I'm gonna be talking about with one of my sponsors, but I love this. It's a sun protection mineral powder, so it's also like a makeup kind of. I wonder if this is gonna be the right color for me. I was just thinking like today or yesterday that I'm afraid to run out of the one from the other company I'm working with, so this is exciting to have more. I really like the one from Au Natural Skin Food, and I like them a lot too because they're very focused on eco-friendly beauty.
but most of their products aren't vegan. And this is a scrub. Oh, this is nice. Oh, this is sweet too. They sent me little hair bands. I'm always running out of hair bands. So that's exciting. Cool. Well, that was very sweet. My battery is about to die, but I want to start opening up the Goddess Provisions box too. So let me do this really quickly before the battery dies. This box usually makes me feel really happy. Whoa. Stuff is falling out. Okay. So, oh, I've been wanting one of these. And it's rose quartz. Come on, focus. Have you used one of these before? I have been wanting one of these for a while. Look how beautiful this is. Oh, that's so exciting. Wow, this is really nice. Okay, excellent. More serum. Come on and focus. My camera always tries to focus on my face. And this is amazing Sahara rose. Awesome. Okay. This sweet little self-care journal. Oh, this looks so sweet. I'm gonna start using that right now. Oh, this is like a little like carrying purse. Chai tea. And then this stone, which is a pink opal. It's a heart chakra. This is the sacred self-care box. How did they know I needed self-care? Oh, that's so sweet. The Goddess Provisions, their boxes, it's like they read my mind and my heart every month. I am so excited about this. I can't wait to finally try one of these. Cool. Oh, that brought me joy. Okay, I think I'm gonna actually meditate. I brought this little bowl that I think you like tap or like spin around from another Goddess Provisions box I got. I don't really know how to use it, but I'm gonna try to use it for my meditation and create a little ritual. I feel like today I just wanna meditate a ton, and it's almost like all of these intense emotions are really encouraging me to meditate like never before, and that's a huge part of my focus for this month. So sometimes you get what you need even if it's painful. All right, I'm gonna go do that and then use my new journal.